Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Mriner of Spirit. I'm Greg, I'm your host, and we've got another great show tonight. We've got a fantastic guest, a person that came into my existence quite some time ago and really put a change to the way I view things and my whole path. So as far as my spirituality is concerned, and helped me out considerably and made a big difference. And she's great. And before I bring her out, I want to go ahead and mention a few things. And the first things that I want to mention are the people that I support. And I support Autographs, and that's with Tim Miley and his wife Lauren, and they do fundraisers for raising contributions for animal shelters and dogs. And what he does is he does events. And if you've never been to an event that Autographs holds, it is a great time for you to go ahead and it's well worth your time and effort and money to go ahead and go to see his event, because he has, I always think he has the best of speakers and various topics, and it's all pertaining to certain parts of the paranormal and spirituality and things like that. So I've had the pleasure of being with them twice, I think, and the first time was at Robin Terry's Haunted Hour. And now I got carried away a little bit there. But anyway, the second, if you find them, check them out. The second one is PKC Paranormal Kicks Cancer with Chris Gaskowski and Alex Wilkinson. And they do basically the same thing, only all their funds and the money that they raise on haunted houses, and they'll do investigations at haunted establishments, and all that money goes for cancer research, which is really great. And then the authors that I pretty much really like, and they're people that have all been on my show, and it's gotten to be quite a list, but it won't take but a minute or two. But anyway, I start out with Bruce Holliday, Tobias Wayland, Adam Benedict, Kathy Kressel, Barnaby Jones, Sherilyn Cotter, Dr. Heatherly Langdon, Lynn Monet, Ron Iacovetti, Victoria Munday, Tony Rathman, Natalie Jones, Patty Negri, Sylvia Schultz, Amelia Cotter, Rex Nielsen, David Sloan, Christina Bloom, DAY Song, and Joseph Hallant. So that's that. There's a couple more, and there's one that's going to be added onto the list, and we'll find out what her book is about after we start to talk to her. But without further ado, I want to bring on my guest for tonight. She's a fantastic lady, and like I said, she's every bit of what I said. And this is Dr. Becky, or Dr. Rebecca Foster. And she's, let me go ahead. I got to get my cursor down there. There she is. Welcome. I'm glad to have you.
How are you?
Oh, I'm okay.
Good. Excellent. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's great having you here finally.
I know. Finally, we were able to get our schedules worked out.
We've been on a long road, to say the least.
It's been a long time.
It has been. I mean, how long have you been out of Wisconsin?
I moved back to Iowa in 21. So
okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm back in Iowa. It's a good place to be.
Good place to be.
Yeah.
They have some great places out in Iowa.
They do. It's
haunted.
I love the small towns and this, just I guess the way that everybody just comes together in each area. I lived near Des Moines for a little while, and it was just too crowded. After you live in small towns, you don't want the traffic and all the people.
I know in the beginning on your Facebook page, you have a declaration there.
I do.
And it says you talk about God, Jesus Christ, ghosts, paranormal, Bigfoot, and aliens.
Yes.
How did you come up with that mixture?
Whew. Well, to tell you the truth, that's a long story. So what where do I start? It basically was the fact that I was born with a gift. Everybody's born with a gift. I just never shut mine off. And I started using my gift when I was about 13. But at the same time, when I reawakened to what it was, what I was capable of doing, I believe that God was like, okay, I need you to finally do this work. But in order for me to understand the capacity that I had of doing the mediumship work alone, he first put me into predicaments that introduced me really to the depth of the darkness of things. And I thought for a while there that I was just going to hell. I'm pretty sure I was seeing demons, I was seeing the devil, I was seeing evil around me. It was terrifying. And I turned to him and I begged. I was on my knees, just like begging, please don't send me to hell. Whatever is going on, I will serve you for the rest of my life. And that's legit where it started. So I've read the Bible, I can't tell you how many times. And my biggest worry of wrestling was, this is not allowed. Like, you're not allowed to do this stuff. You're not allowed to see things that I see. And I really was afraid of using it. But so much came across as, there's so many different verses as far as prophesying and accepting your spiritual gifts and to test the spirits. So I went through many years just following what God wanted me to do, and testing the spirits meant and what I had learned was, if it comes to pass, this is from God. He is giving this. If you just tell somebody something and it doesn't come to pass, it's not legit. It's coming from a false source. And I used that knowledge for a long time. And then, with what the work I do, I'm evil. I'm either evil and I'm going to hell, or I'm too religious. And so that is why I've my website is God's tool. I am a tool of God. That's it. I am whatever he wants me to do. And I have had people get readings from me and then give me bad reviews because all I did was talk about God in their life, or how God was giving the message. So that is why the declaration is up there that says, I talk about God, people. I talk about Christ. I talk about all this stuff. So don't get a reading from me if you don't want to hear about God. And, it's funny because there's always something that happens that causes new rules to be written. And I often wonder about one that I once saw on a curling iron that said, don't use while you're sleeping. So that's really, but also just tell me when to stop. So I knew, because if God is real, the devil is real. I've seen all of it. I have seen angels that are 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall, standing at the end of my bed. I've seen ghosts. I have, when I was little, I had, I don't even know how many there were, but they were about this big. They were like little trolls, gnomes, little people, and they were bright colored, and they were magical. They could move in and out of glass and walls like it wasn't even existent. And they used to show up and they'd like flip around each other and dance. And they didn't really do any, they didn't sing, they didn't do anything. They laughed and giggled with me and helped me fall asleep. And I knew if they exist and everything else exists, then Bigfoot obviously has to exist. And then when I was 8, I saw a UFO up close. And then what I truly believe, whatever was in that UFO showed up a few nights later at the end of my bed. And there was 2 of them just standing there arm in arm. And they just kind of looked at me and went like this and smiled. And I was like, oh my God, am I awake? I was like literally hurting myself to make sure I was awake. So then I had my experience with Bigfoot, and or with a Bigfoot. So it's just, that's been the conglomeration of all of that stuff.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Now you're sitting there, and where do the tattoos come into play on this?
So I first of all, I love tattoos. I always have. I got my first tattoo when I was, I think, 22 or 23 years old. And so over the years, I've been tattooed. And when I was in Wisconsin, a friend of mine has a shop, and I met her on my galleries and stuff that I was doing online. And so she was just down the street. I go get a tattoo from her. COVID happens, and she was considered an essential business. So I spent my entire $1,400 stimulus check at her shop. So then when I ended up moving, I said, I need to know how to tattoo. First, I paint, I burn, I do all sorts of artistic things. Now I need to learn how to tattoo because I need to do this. So we kind of swapped wares, and she started picking more up on sacred geometry and spiritualism. And then I started picking up the tattooing. And so that was in 2020. And that's really where it went. And my whole life is what I do spiritually, my readings. So I kind of put off entering into a tattoo shop. Plus, I couldn't find anybody that had the same ideal as me when it came to humanity and helping people. And I went to work. This was such a fluke. I went to work at a school in Western Iowa as an associate teacher. Now I have my doctorate, I have my MBA, I have taught at Indiana University, and I'm walking into a middle school, God only knows why, to be an associate teacher. I tell you, it was the most humbling experience of my life because nobody there knew me or my background, and I was literally a peon. And I said, okay, I don't know why you want me here or for what reason, but I'm going to do this, and I'm going to swallow my pride in all of my education, and I'm just going to do this. And I ended up, because I'm super cool, I ended up making friends with, or at least supportive friends with, a group of girls in the 8th grade class. And was it? Yeah, it was the 8th grade class. And one of them, she'd come to school every day with scars and new fresh cuts across her wrists and her ankles. And she would try to hide it, but it was very apparent that she was cutting herself. She was very much into self-harm at the time. And then I noticed that there was a whole bunch of girls that were doing this. And I went to her and I said, look, girl, when you are 18 years old, you come to me and I will cover all of these scars for free. We're just going to put all of that to rest. And it hit me. This is what you need to do at your shop. And I didn't have a shop yet. So I ended up moving again more towards eastern Iowa. And because of her, I realized I can have my shop. I can do tattoos, readings. I'm also a spiritual life coach, and I'm a licensed holistic practitioner. So I was able to bring all of that together into my shop. I cover scars, like cutting scars and mastectomy scars. I cover them for free. And you'd be amazed how many people are out there that have self-harm scars. And I love putting those things to rest. Whatever it is, big as it is, I don't care. I've covered whole thighs. So then it's Doc Foster's Tattoo and Spirit Therapy. And I love the work that I do there. So it's pretty awesome.
It is really, really awesome.
Yeah.
To help people like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that still carried those, even the people that I knew, like in AA,
Yes.
for all those years, that it was like they would actually try to keep it covered.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, you're starting a whole new trend, if not already. It's how long you've been doing it out there. How many years has that been going?
I have been tattooing for 6 years now.
So you must be very accomplished. You do a lot of devils?
No.
No?
No. I will not tattoo anything that's devilish, satanic, or anything like that. And partially because I'm very cautious about what I tattoo on people, because it's literally a talisman. And I like to know the purpose behind a person's tattoo. Maybe it's for fun. Maybe it's super meaningful. But when I'm tattooing people, I'm also channeling everything. I'm reading them constantly. I'll be tattooing somebody and their mother shows up to talk to them, talk about their tattoo, or their loved ones will even help them design a tattoo. So if somebody comes and says, I'm thinking about getting a tattoo, it's for my mom, she's passed. Okay, don't say any more. And then mom will help me design the tattoo for that person with all those little elements that are between them, which is pretty cool. But I put my energy into that tattoo while I'm creating it. And so I will not do anything evil or negative or hateful ever at all. And I will also talk people out of stupid tattoos. I just won't let them. I just won't do it.
You like frogs?
Yes, that's so funny that you would say that. Frogs. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I just had it. That was something that I was thinking about for some reason. But you know how things go when you're
What would make you think of frogs?
Because I'm a frog guy. I like frogs.
Interesting. That's
I,
very interesting.
my,
Okay.
northern Wisconsin, and you've got the grandkids, and you've got two girls,
Uh-huh.
and they're trying to catch the frogs, and they have a net. So they're in
Uh-huh.
the water in the lily
Yes.
pads, and they're chasing them and catching them. And
Uh-huh.
one of them got grabbed by a snake, water snake, and it was like, and she had it pinned, and I went ahead and I grabbed the snake and picked it up, and I felt the snake. They said that the snake ate the frog, right? So I go ahead and I have my hand on the body of the snake, and I'm
No.
going, I don't feel, I do not feel the frog.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm holding on to it, and I'm telling them, well, and then I hit my hand, and the snake's head was up about this high off my hand. And I can remember saying, I felt all the way down to there. There's no way that he just ate that frog, and I couldn't feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's gross.
And just as I said that, the frog popped out of his mouth,
What kind of
and he was
snake was
okay.
it?
It was like a water snake, like a blackish, and he has sort of almost like a gardener snake. They have like
Not
sort
not a
of,
water moccasin or anything like
no,
that.
no, 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 it's not poisonous.
Okay. I was wondering like how could you do something like that and not
No,
freak out?
I wouldn't be great. Well, I don't freak out on that stuff anyway. But,
No,
but
thank
that's
you.
for the
Snakes and
grandkids.
spiders.
You know how the grandkids are, and especially my granddaughters, and they're exceptional little girls and ladies, and one of them's a lady now.
Of
and
course.
it's just magnificent that you can go ahead and share that kind of stuff. She's been catching big frogs. I mean,
Hmm.
so their legs are hanging down like this. So I have a whole series of pictures of her over the years. With She would go to the pond, and she'd catch a big frog, and she'd come over and show me, and I'd have to have a picture of her, me with the frog.
Oh wow.
It's
You talk about frogs. When I was younger, I went with a friend of mine and her family to Upper Wisconsin, and we caught a bunch of frogs. But then we took all of the frogs and we put them in her sister and her friends' beds about midday, and about 2 o'clock in the morning they got into bed, and all those frogs were in the bed. We will never forget the screams from across the campground. It was pretty funny. That's my frog story.
all right. You can't beat that with a stick, can you?
Oh, it was so funny. It was very, very funny.
So you're into, or you do a lot of gallery readings, huh?
I do. Yep. I do a lot. I think I do more free readings every year than I ever could imagine trying to do on a regular scheduled calendar. Yep.
How do those usually go? Do you do them for groups, or how?
Yeah,
In
no,
other
I
words, if anybody's here and they're thinking about going ahead and having a gallery reading,
well, so I do them in person and I also do them online. So I just basically get on and I just read people off of the chat room, and it's really the same thing. It's just like when you to explain it, people always want to know, well, how do you do something like that long distance? And it's the same thing as when you think of someone and 5 minutes later they call. So basically, you're taking your energy and you are finding that person across the world, across time, across space, dimension. And you're wrapping your energy around them, and they, oh my gosh, I should probably call Greg. And then you're like, oh my God, Mary, I was just thinking about you. And oh, I was thinking about you too. That's why I called. It's that connection. And when I'm reading someone, I am not an all powerful genie. I basically just have learned how to instantly connect with my guides and Yahweh. And then they find whoever it is that I am connecting with and connect me with that person. And you could have, I love it when people can get into a chat and create a fake name, especially because then there is absolutely zero way that I would even know who I was talking to. And that's what I like to keep it that way. Is I don't want to know anything. I don't want to know who I'm reading for. It's clean that way. And it's neat when the person will have something similar come through to a previous week, or whatever their guides want them to know, and I'm just like, no way, wow. Like when people tell me about the readings, I'm a big kid in a candy store because I'm just as amazed as they are. It's the coolest thing ever. So, but yeah, that's how it works. I just read
Don't
people.
don't ever lose your enthusiasm.
Never. That's part of it. I'm a big child when it comes to this stuff.
No, you're just one of those people that has that glow, and you understand, and it's
Yeah.
great to be able to go to somebody like you, if you had an issue, because you would be able to help.
I do. And that's why it's not that it's just I get tired, but I figure if God is going to lead someone to me out of everybody in the world, there's a reason for it. And he obviously thinks that I can help them one way or another. And that is where a lot of my work comes in for no cost, because and that's the other thing. We're supposed to use our talents and our spiritual gifts. We're supposed to use them freely. And so that's where I feel like, yeah, I have a calendar of private readings that are one-on-one, and it's my work. And so I keep all of my cost and my fees and everything very low, because, and that goes for everything, all of the things that I do, my tattoos, my readings, everything, because I feel that as much as I do for free, I love that because I'm not held to anything. I can go as long as I want. I can do it whatever, however I want. There are no obligations. But I feel like in order for me to survive, obviously, I have to charge something, but I make it so that everyone can enjoy all of the work that I do, not people who can just afford it. And so I try to keep it like that, regardless of inflation or cost or anything. There has to be a really darn good reason for me to raise cost. And so free is always good, as far as I'm concerned.
Victoria Monday said, does she feel that the tattoos are like sigils?
Yeah,
And
no,
that's
100%.
exactly 100%. Yeah.
Yep, 100%. And that's why I try to get people to reconsider things that are emotional in the moment or angry, because that feeling's gonna heal and it's gonna change. I also try to talk people out of putting a boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse's name on their body. Um, but again, I'm a servant, so I do what people ask for the most part, as long as it's safe. I just think I need to have a disclaimer that people sign that say we will not hold you liable if we end up in a divorce in a week. So, sigils, talismans, yes, powerful stuff.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You sort of incorporated quite a few things,
Yeah.
and it's meshed very well for you.
Yeah, I love it. You know what? I think the first off, I love drawing on people. Let's just put it that way. It is cathartic. We have, people come into my shop, and my main thing is healing. I want people to heal spiritually, mentally, and physically. So I have gone with like the high chakra colors, turquoise. Everything is turquoise. Everything is just to get people into a calm state. And then I play only instrumental music, because people come into my tattoo shop and they fall asleep because they're just calm, they're coming down from the day. It's legit therapy. And we as you know okay, if people come in with a group, they know what they're walking into. They know that I'm a medium. They know what I do. But and then, we just have fun with that, with talking and discussions. But there are times where people will just sit in my chair and they're dealing with the release of pain through the tattoo, but they also just start talking, and they will release all of their pain and what they're going through and what they're dealing with, and it's a healing aspect, and that's ultimately what my whole purpose is to help people to recognize and acknowledge and then deal with whatever it is they're dealing with in life.
Does your clairvoyance come into play through that too?
Oh gosh, yes. So not only sorry, somebody in your chat room is pulling on my energy because my eye just closed.
Who would that be?
I don't know. I don't
Stop
know.
it. Stop it.
It's okay. It just happens. Someone might be trying to get my attention, but well, I do use the clairvoyant aspect to not only design tattoos for people, because I draw everything. I design everything that people get, unless someone comes in and goes, I want this right here, don't change it, this is exactly what I want. Unless it's a portrait or a dog, exactly what they want, I will design it, and I just draw all day and all night for people. But when I'm tattooing people and they're not only sharing, but I'm also like, they have families showing up that are wanting to talk to them, I'll just be like, just so you know, do have some stuff happening. And it's so funny too, because there's a ghost in the building, and he's a friendly dude. He's not just in my shop, but he's in the building. And when I have people in my chair that he doesn't like or trust, he will set off my car alarm. He'll make noise. He rattles the door handles. The other day, I had a client in the chair, and he threw one of my books off of a bookshelf. And I was like, holy, we both jumped. I have a needle in my hand. And she's like, what was that? I said, oh, it's just my ghost. It's okay. It's fine. And then she was sitting there. I said, are you okay? And she goes, I'm just a little weirded by your ghost. I said, no, it's fine. He's not setting off a car alarm, which means that he doesn't want you gone. So it's pretty funny stuff, actually.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But we've got a bunch of people in here that are a lot of people that are in the Psychics Unite group that we have, and that Barbara Spear and Carol Garcia and Brandon Cooper's here.
Hold on. I'm in private chat. Let me get into comments here. Okay. All right. There we go. All right.
And Victoria Monday. You know who she is, of course.
Yes. Hello.
She's from out in Texas. And then Kim Baranski's from out by past you, and she's in Arkansas.
Okay.
And she's a great lady, and she's part of that same group. And now here you go. You got Bigfoot and the Bunny Media. So that's Chris Carr and Kristen Johnson from up in Connecticut.
Nice.
And,
Nice
and
meeting
they
everybody.
and they all they had two shows, and they're like taking a hiatus right now.
Uh-huh.
But their shows, I always tell him every time he would come on. The one was it's Bigfoot and the Bunny, and the other one's Dark Horse Paranormal. And
Okay.
he has an intro to it where he did the whole entire intro himself, and it's got Nosferatu in it, and it's got the coach the coach goes driving away, speeding away, and he did all the music for it. I keep on telling him that out of all the intros of all the shows that I've ever seen on any of this, he has got the number one intro.
That's awesome.
If you ever get an opportunity to check it out, it's absolutely amazing.
Okay, I will do that. That's very cool.
It is. And Oh, what I just saw something. Oh, Adriana's here too. She's from up on the East Coast too. She's part of the group. Uh, I was going to go ahead and ask about you. You went ahead and I read something pertaining to the fact that well, you're on YouTube and TikTok too, right?
Yeah.
How do you take to that? Out of
To which
curiosity,
one?
to TikTok.
Well, TikTok actually, I I started just getting on and doing 1 minute readings for strangers. That's really how it got so big. And I just get on when I'm bored and I read people for a minute. That's how
How
I've
could
done it.
how could you get bored?
I know, right? But there are days there are days when I have downtime, and if I'm sitting around, I don't really like sit around and watch TV. Um, I'll put the TV on, and work it as a background. But if there's downtime and I have a moment to sit and watch TV, I will get on and I'll just read people on TikTok. And but I will say, okay, I there is my account on TikTok, but there is another account that stole there's like 10 of them, but I've had them all shut down. And there's another one that stole all of my pictures, all of my videos, and people have been like, "Hey, is this you asking me for money?" And I'm like, "No, I don't do that." And I look and find out that this person has like 25,000 followers that they think is me. So my TikTok is a picture. I am in black and white and I'm standing next to a table with a candelabra. But they stole my other photos. And so, yeah, it's Dr. R. Foster, the whole thing. My name and my at Dr. R. Foster. And they have a Dr. R. period Foster. I don't put hyphens or anything in my names. It's always just Dr. R. Foster. And yeah, so you have to be careful because there are fraudulent, and Instagram, there's fake. Snapchat, there's fake accounts. It's just insane, but they all scam for money.
So what do you how are you projecting, say for instance, because you have a business. How are you projecting into the future as far as what is there anything you have on the horizon that you want to incorporate into everything that you're doing right now?
Um, well, I'm sorry, my eye again.
That's okay.
My biggest thing right now, where work is concerned. So there was a time when there were two actual television shows. There was one television show that I had told you about a long time ago. That kind of I walked away from that because there was massive personality conflict. And then the next one we were doing, that never came to be because it was at the same time that everything collapsed and all the shows were pulled off of the programming. Everything was just pulled off except like one show, and it's still on hold. It's just kind of sitting in agents' offices. So that was my whole thing. The only place that I really have to go with my career, aside from what I'm doing, is to bring it to the people in a bigger audience. And um, the problem is that I've run across several agents and shows that um, they want to tell me what to say and how to say it, and that's fake. And I won't sell my soul to be on TV. My biggest thing is I need to just be able to reach millions of people, because my biggest thing with my gift is helping people to understand their gift, their purpose, how to stick around and not unalive yourself, that God loves all of his children. And just like any parent, like any good parent. And the whole thing is to get people to really realize the collective that we are all attached to, like a giant placenta and umbilical cord. And all of the hate that goes up every single day feeds that placenta and then drains and rains down into all of us. And then people want to know why they are stressed out and anxious and having a difficult time. And the only way to combat it is to send up love and send up gratitude and thankfulness, love, all of the higher level frequencies and vibrations. And you know what's funny is not to get off on a tangent or like on a toot toot, but I will say this: since 2018, prior to that, when I would read people, maybe 1 out of 100 would present with any kind of, hey, wake them up further. They have a gift I need them to start using. And then 2018 hit, and all of a sudden they brought about whole new aspects of hybrid involvement where the souls are concerned. And then it was 5 out of 10 were awakening. And at the same time, if you go back, you're going to start to pay attention to the programming on TV. And it's all of these things you're feeling, that's anxiety. So let's put you on a medication that completely knocks out your pineal gland and any ability to actually feel, think, and see something spiritual. So I know that people are waking up to who they truly are in the core of their spirit in this meat sack. But we have a lot of, I don't know if it's government or if it is other elites or beyond, that are like trying to completely stifle that. And when I read people, I'm a medical intuitive as well. If I see them with a dark shadow on their back and they're dealing with anxiety, I know what they're dealing with. But I will also medically look at them and decide, oh, no, you do have something chemically going on, or you have an imbalance and you could use this to help stave that off. And I'll offer them different opportunities and different ideas to help deal with something like that. But ultimately, the scary part is that so many people are awakening and they're feeling anxiety and they're feeling stress and they're getting nervous and their ears are ringing and their vision is going bad. They're not sleeping properly and their relationships are falling apart and they can't understand what, but instead they go to a doctor for help and the doctor's like, here's a script, take this and you'll be fine. And that it really needs to like be addressed. And that is my goal, is to help people realize so many things about who they are that they already are doing and aren't paying attention to it.
Oh, everybody has gifts.
Yeah.
Or they're given gifts.
Yep.
Whether they use them or not is totally up to them.
Some people don't. They don't want to. They're afraid, which is true.
I can remember my father, and we were at Gettysburg, and we had just gone through like about 5 hours of an experience that was mind-boggling, to say the least. It was everything, every sound that was possible at Gettysburg all came to us, and heard all of it. And I was 10 years old. And at the end, my father grabbed me after we talked to the ranger, because back then, you didn't, if you got back to your neighborhood, wherever you lived, you weren't going to go ahead and go down the street and say, hey, guess what, and then they're going to go ahead and say, oh boy, you belong in a home. Back then, or you need special counseling. But I can remember it happening, and he just sort of grabbed me by the arm and he says, when we get home, you don't mention this to anybody.
Yep.
And that sort of made a point of sticking in my head, because now it's not the case.
Well,
there she goes. They were reading my mind, by the way, that last question that's up down there.
That's why I laughed. But really, before I address that, to add to what you're saying, when I was first coming into using my gift, my mother took me to a psychiatrist, and this guy gave me this 500 question psych evaluation. And it asked, do you see the devil? Do you see ghosts? Do you see this stuff? And I'm like, yep, yep, yep. I answered it honestly and truthfully. And when we got the results, he said to my mom in front of me, either Rebecca lied or she is completely crazy. He said that in front of me. And I said, I'll take it again. Let me take it again. Do you see ghosts? Nope. Do you talk to the devil? Nope. Do you see it? Nope, nope, nope. And I took the test. I handed it to him and I said, Ma, if you ever bring me back here again, you will never see me again. And she did not believe that I could do any of this until I was well into my 20s. So I was alone. If I'd have listened to my family, I would not be here with you right now. In so many ways, I would not be here.
Do you think that part that you just mentioned is intricate in your pursuit of the things that you try to accomplish with?
I think so. A huge part of it. I mean, I know that I read past lives as well, and I know several of mine involve where I was gifted, but at the time it was looked at as a crazy thing, and I'm almost guaranteeing positive. I don't think I was the doctor at that hospital. I'm pretty sure I was a patient, and I think that's where my original claustrophobia kicked in, was because of that past life. I've overcome that. But I want people, yeah, exactly. I want to help people. Like when I first started with my doctorate, I was going to do clinical psych. I was going to help diagnose and treat people. But as I was going through the program, I realized I can't ethically do this. One, because I can read the person. Two, because I'm a medical intuitive and I can see if there's something actually wrong. And so I can't, as a doctor, you have to treat according to the book. You can't, oh my God, I would be thrown in jail. So I quit that program and then I restarted my doctorate and got it in health sciences so that I could run a hospital at some point if I wanted to. But I don't want to. I don't want to do that anymore. So I taught. But I think it has a lot to do with it, with helping people who don't have a voice. But to address the 3-eye atlas, the flying interstellar cat turd, I think that's funny. First off, I can tell you that regardless of what it is, we're being lied to about all of it. And we have, I don't think.
They're still trying to grab it, aren't they?
Well, I'm pretty sure that it's probably not a meteor. I would probably put money on it, but you have to be so careful because everybody's creating these stupid like AI things. And I know personally that they're among us constantly. They're within most of us are hybrid. There's very few, we're talking millions obviously, but fewer hybrids or humans, and that are 100% human. Most people on the planet are hybrid in one way, shape, or form. And so when I see the atlas, I'm almost guaranteeing it was something that was scooting past. I don't know if it would have landed. They know human nature. They know that if they would have come within a certain space, that it would have been shot out of the sky, or at least we would have tried. They do have technology that is light years ahead of ours. Our own government has technology that is at least 50 years into the future. Our own government can hologram right into this room if they wanted to right now. They're probably listening to everything we're talking about at this moment. They can, we have portals. They use portals. They use portals to get to Bigfoot. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't even be talking about this stuff. But our government is into all of the stuff we're talking about right now. They have full access and knowledge of everything that we're discussing right now. 100%.
So you went ahead and mentioned the word, and you said Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Now, I am really curious as far as you and an interest in Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
Where did this start, and where are you taking it?
Well, where did Bigfoot start for me?
Yes. Not Harry and the Hendersons. Don't say that. You're going to say here.
Sorry. There was noises behind me and no stuff is falling. I told you, I guarantee you there's stuff
there.
going on right now. There's stuff happening right now. Okay. So my Bigfoot experience happened in Ohio, the first one. And that's when I encountered Bigfoot portals. Fairies always exist around the portals. And when you first connect, when you connect with Bigfoot and they connect with you, as aliens are the same way. It's like they mark you. They locate you. They know where you are at all times. They can find you anywhere. And so there was that experience in Ohio. And what I call them is like a pod. They move in pods. They do not inbreed. They move around to ensure that they have outside family to create and create mates and partnerships. Holy cow, there's just so many experiences. And then another experience I had was in Ohio, and I was with some you guys. Well, I don't know if I should name drop. It doesn't matter, does it? Anyway, I was with some people, and we were staying in a cabin. And I noticed one night we were coming back after a conference, there was a little frontage road and it was kind of dark. There was no moonlight. So I was like, let's walk the trail. Let's go see if there's a Bigfoot over here. And we didn't have anything. See, Bigfoot, if you go in with loud people, cameras, recording devices, they're not going to show themselves to you. They're not going to do it. But if you go into the woods, my biggest thing is I will show them my waistband. I will show them my back. I don't have cameras. And I'll tell them I don't have a camera. I don't have phones. I don't have a gun. I don't have anything. And so the four of us walk this trail, and gentleman that's walking next to me is recording the whole thing. Like, he has a recorder. It's a little tiny dinky thing. And another gentleman was here in front of me 10 feet, and 20 feet ahead of us was our other friend. And his name is Jeff. We're going to say Jeff. And the guy next to me goes, I don't feel very good. And I said, ooh, you're getting zapped. And not even a second later, we hear boom, 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 boom. This thing comes flying down the ridge, and it lands in the middle of the road, and we're all squinting at it. And this thing stands up. It's like 12 feet tall. And Jeff turns around and he goes, run. So we all run, and we were hustling. I mean, we were running for our lives, and we started laughing. We stopped. We're like, where's Jeff? Is he still alive? What happened? And we leave. We're done. You summon an elephant. What do you do when it shows up? Well, the next night, Jeff and I went back. The other two had left. We were alone. We didn't have anything with us. We got to the point where it had bluff charged us, and we stopped. And we got down and crouched, and we were throwing rocks at each other. And all of a sudden, I looked down the trail, and I was like, what is that? And it was, again, this thing was 12 feet tall, and it was standing just off of the trail. And Jeff looks and he goes, by the trail? And I said, yeah. And I'm kidding. I'm not kidding you. It literally just went like this. And it started slowly coming at us. It wasn't striding. It wasn't moving. It was nothing. It was just gliding to us. And I said, it's getting closer, but it's not moving. what do we do? And this is what you live for. You live to be this close to a Bigfoot. But I was crapping my pants because I didn't know what to do when this thing was 2 feet away, 1 foot away. What was I going to do? And he got nervous because it's just the two of us and I'm just a chick, you know? So we got up and I felt almost a reverence for it. And we put our heads down and we backed down the trail. And the next day I got up, left, he snapped some pictures from the inside of the cabin. And digital cameras will pick up all sorts of elementals and Bigfoot alike. They will show up in your photos with a white halo around them. And he showed me the pictures and I was like, dude, he's right in the window, like watching you take pictures. And it was just the coolest thing. But they do show up and you'll see them. Like if you go into the woods to take a picture and there's a Bigfoot there because they cloak, but digital cameras, you will see them. They'll be, everything behind them will be blurry. They will be warbled and they will have a white outline around them. And that's how you catch a picture of a Bigfoot. They don't realize it, that you can do that, but they are smart. I got hit on the back by one a couple months ago, and I was 20 feet up on a back deck, and they are silent, but just got smacked on the back, and we were meaning to reach them, but there's so much we could talk about. I have so many stories. Bigfoot's real. Elementals are real. Fairies are real. Gnomes are real. Trolls are real. They're all real.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Some people won't agree, but that's up to them.
That's fine. And you know what? I don't care. You don't have to believe. People do not have to believe, and I am not here to convince them at all. Right. Not at all. I just can't imagine living like that. Can you imagine? Like living, not thinking any of that stuff is real. It's just like, I don't even understand it. It's like life.
Well, those are the same people that are really screwed up about this Atlas.
Yes, interdimensional beings. They are.
Yeah.
They travel through portals, and they're interdimensional.
I saw a video of two guys that were on one side of a creek. And it was a wide creek. And on the other side was where they had seen this Bigfoot before. Mm-hmm. So they were waiting, and the Bigfoot came down and it started going down the path. And right in the camera itself, it was there, and then all of a sudden it just sort of faded, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
And it was like,
cool.
Very, very, very neat, for all the things that you do. And, I was going to say, I go up into the Northwest, up in past Seattle quite a bit, because that's where my daughter is and her family. And I've been waiting, but I always bring up Perry and the Hendersons because I think that's just the neatest thing, and people just thought there's no way back then. I have places on a Lake of the Woods, Ontario.
Okay.
And I've been going there for probably 40 years now. Almost every year. The last 2 years I haven't been there. But we would go around island. We're fishing for big muskies, and we're going around these islands, and we've done it forever. And on the end of the island, where there would be a little path coming down to the water, would be two like trees that would be about maybe 6 to 7 inches across, and they would be snapped like 5 feet, 6 feet off the ground. And they would be forming like a gate.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I said to my partner, I said, "You see that? That's Bigfoot. He doesn't want.
Don't go this way."
Yeah, don't come on this island.
Yep.
But the same thing is at Vancouver Island. There's one just south of, or it is Vancouver Island, up in British Columbia. That's the same way. Those little those little bats people used to call them pretty not proud. What is it?
Probably.
Probably not that helpful when they show up. Oh, there's some funny people. That and you know they're some of the neatest people on the planet. And there's been a lot of people in the room tonight. I wish we had another hour and a half.
And well, I believe me, I can
I,
talk for hours.
I, we will have you back if that's okay with you.
No, yeah, of course. We just have to make it
How much
happen.
of a notice am I going to have this time?
No, you know what? We'll just plan it. We'll just put it on the calendar right away.
Okay.
So then we're not trying to plan it because then we got to wait and plan it late. It'll be like a year again or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that was a long time,
I know.
Becca. A long time, Becca. Dr.
Yeah.
Becca. But there's all these people that are here are really amazing people. And Anton Ritter is a friend of Victoria Monday's, I believe. He was on the other night too. He's a great guy. There's been people that have been coming on that not only this show but my Wednesday show. But I don't know if you're into ITC. So you are?
Yeah.
You do Estes?
Yep.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we'll have to talk about that when we get off the air for a few minutes.
Okay.
It's really great. I think. Well, we still got a few minutes. We got some time. Uh, the show that's on Wednesday night. We've gotten to the point where if you go back and you look at how it started, and you think about Connor Randall and Carl Pfeiffer and the people that were all at the Estes at the Stanley Hotel, because that's where they, and if you talk to Tim Woolworth says, no, that's not where it started. It started with the blind ghost box. Okay. And so I just go with what I know, and Tim's a great guy. I'd love to go ahead and that's why I mention him. But besides that, blind ghost box, it's a little different.
There's my chair is squeaky.
You got some. I thought you had somebody underneath there that you were.
No, it's my chair. It squeaks when I spin it.
The part about with the noise canceling headphones, and he said point blank it had to be drummers headphones, and we do doubles, so we'll do like 3 doubles a show, and I want everything to stay copacetic as far as the people that watch the show, where people understand that this is how it is. And, there's nothing to say that anybody's doing anything from the other angle. In other words, that they're actually making something up, or they're not hearing something, or they're just, and I've heard it from a couple people, 1 or 2, and that's all for all the shows that I've done. And I think I've done that for quite a few years now, like 4. And I thought, if we're all on the same page, we do all this, we all follow the same principles or the same guides, and we all have the same equipment, then it would be a little more, because there are people out there that don't believe it happens, that we're not channeling and we're not doing this and we're not doing that. And, so to go ahead and give it a little more validity, it was like I started talking about doing that And at the same time we were doing that, we went ahead and we came up with those. Have you seen the Delco goggles?
No.
The red goggles, the red lenses, they light up.
Maybe. It's late, so I may have, but I'm not. My brain's not functioning. I will say this. What was that?
Where
I just heard somebody talk. Um, I
those?
Estes is, when I do it, I try to make sure that I'm far enough away that the person that's got the headphones on, regardless, can't hear. However, we did an experiment one night. We were doing an investigation at the old YMCA in Rock Island, Illinois. It's
Okay,
Dan Biner Furniture.
yeah.
Okay. So we were filming there. My friend Rob, who has passed away at this point, but he was brave enough to go into the basement, which is demonic. It's bad. You won't catch me in that basement. So he went down in the basement by himself to do the Estes method, and we are upstairs. There is a cement floor, and I can't even tell you the distance between us. So I have a camera. The camera is on him. I can see him, and we can hear him doing Estes. So I started talking to the ghost that was there, and I'm conversing with this ghost, and he's telling Rob what to say just after I've said it. For instance, there was a guy that came in, and I was like, "Oh, okay, so I don't remember his name. So you've been here for a while. You died here." I said, "You drowned?" And Rob goes, "Drowned." And we are literally like, "Oh my God," minds blown that this guy is communicating with me like through my mediumship, but and I'm saying this is all on camera too. Every bit of it was caught on camera. And then Rob, 2 seconds later, says with the headphones on exactly what I've just said. And it was the coolest representation of how Estes works. And then a triangulation with methods to prove that I'm not crazy. I'm not making this stuff up. It's actually functioning in an awesome scientific way. And I mean, that's what I love about investigations, taking what I can do and then triangulating it. But as far as that goes, doing Estes with that method of putting them far away and then recording, those energies will still communicate to them. You don't have to be in the same room.
Well, we took it to a step further because I have people from other states that are all on the same show at night. So they're coming. They're coming
exactly. From You're doing
Connecticut. Bigfoot and the Bunny. They've been on. They're great.
Perfect.
There's other people in here. Victoria Monday. She's from Texas, and she's on the show too. She was just on the other night again, and she uses a gazing ball.
Okay.
And she's just amazing with that. And it's the same thing. She uses earpods or whatever they are, and has it turned up all the way so that she can't hear anything at all.
Got it.
But it's just amazing that. But I thought I'd bring that up. I'm sorry I got a little bit too lengthy as far as me being paranoid with some people that have, it's like, forget it. This is the way it is. And keep it on the up and up. And if you run it right and you have good people with you doing the sessions, that's all you can ask for.
Exactly.
His spirit takes care of everything else.
Yes. Exactly.
So
you're right.
Well, for once.
That's funny.
I want to say thank you very much. It's 11 after.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me.
You're probably tired, and I'm tired. And it's just awesome that you've been here tonight, and it sort of completed something that I really wanted for a long, long time. And
Sweet.
I'm glad you were here. And there is so much that we're going to have to do another one.
Yeah,
And
no, we can do, there's so much to talk about. Absolutely.
right, if you want to do it, I don't know how much of a lag you want, if you want to wait, or if you want to do like in December, or you want to wait till January. January probably would be better with the holidays and everything, right?
It might be. It might be.
Okay.
My December is kind of chock full right now.
Okay.
December is.
Is
November.
January
January looks like it would probably be better. I don't think I have very much in January yet.
Friday night,
Friday nights.
9 o'clock Central?
Mm-hmm.
We'll do it that. Just shoot me one of the dates and I'll put you
Okay.
on my calendar right away.
That sounds like a
And
deal. I'll do it.
Dr. Becca and Dr. Rebecca Foster, thank you very much for being here
Thanks, Greg,
tonight.
for having me.
Oh, it was awesome.
Thanks to everybody in chat too. Good to meet you.
Oh, there's a lot of great people here, and I think they really had. It was well worth the price of admission tonight.
Sweet. Excellent.
Okay. You take it easy.
Take care. Good
Love
night.
and hugs. Bye-bye.
Yes, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And I'm going to put you in the back room, and I'll close everybody out.
So.
Ha 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 ha.